your God power. Get everything you ever wanted and live the life of your dreams. The Master's Course. Copyright 2010 by Richard Lee McKim Jr. All rights reserved. Let the quest for knowing begin. God power exercised and tried by hypnotism. So this is kind of like Einstein's thought experiment. So we have the physical meaning of the persons involved, okay? Then we have the physical meaning that you see with your eyes, which pick up light. That's all the same. Then you have the physical meaning the paper is opaque and blocks light, and you cannot see through it. Then you have the thought meaning certain bodies are see-through, his daughter. And the physical meaning result? Tom can only see the paper and not read the inscription. So what that means is he saw through the daughter. Now you see, we add meanings together. That's how you do it. Meanings of seeing plus meaning of the body is invisible, so you add no obstruction there. But then you add in the paper. The meaning of the paper has not been changed. The meaning of the paper is still the meaning that you and I would give it. It's a piece of paper, it blocks light, you can't see through it. Remember, everything has meaning, that's why it exists. Now, we can change the meaning. Now, the hypnotist could have said, and paper is invisible, you cannot see paper. If he had done that, then he could put the daughter and the paper there, and he could still have read the watch. But he didn't. In our thought experiment. So he would have seen through the daughter, and he would have seen the sheet of paper, would have been unable to see the watch. Here it says the ability has been elicited and activated in Tom's own life experience. But what it means is he saw through, but only saw the paper. Because that's how you add the meanings together. The meanings of the daughter was transparent, but the meanings of the paper has not been changed. Has not been changed. Here it says, however, if the hypnotist had done this, but also said that the paper was invisible, then he would have been able to still read the pocket watch as before. Now, another thing about this illustration that I want to say, and it also refers to the prior illustration, is that all meanings are reconciled at the energy level. They're not reconciled at the physical level that we see yet. So what that means is the pocket watch and everything about the pocket watch. Remember back on our example about chance. Remember the example about chance. You had the chance cards. And the card became the right card when you drew the chance card. Okay? Now, remember that illustration where up above the chance card, stack of cards, and up above the person was a field of energy. That was at the non-physical level. That was at the energy level. That's where all things really happen. At that level, the cards were changed. At that level, the card became the right card. And so at the physical level, when he drew the card, it was the right card. Now, you can use that same visualization for this. At the energy level, you have the pocket watch, the daughter, and Tom. At the energy level, where everything is really happening, he sees through the daughter, because at that level, you can easily do that. Because it's just energy. At that level, the meaning is he is supposed to be able to read the watch. That's the overall meaning. He is supposed to be able to read it. So at that level, at the energy level, it's reconciled. At the energy level, he acquires the information about the watch. and actually reads it at that level. But we are unable to witness that. That's like a computer music player. We can see the picture of the player on the computer monitor, on the computer screen. We can't go into the computer's memory and into the processor chip and see the ones and zeros that are really going on. By the same token, we can't see at the energy level and see the real transaction going on. However, as it's presented or represented in the physical, we can see the result of that action. And the result is Tom reads the watch. That's the result. That cascaded down from the meaning. We can see the result of the music player on the screen of the computer. But we can't see in the memory. We can't sit there in the processor chip and witness the ones and zeros going by that are reconciling all that. What we can see is on the screen, we can see a certain song name and a certain song sound coming out of the speakers. We can see the result. We can hear the result. We can witness the result. But before the song title is presented on the screen, before the song music is presented at the speakers, it has already been compiled, already been put together, already been created, already been done at the energy level. Before Tom actually spoke the words out of his mouth of the inscription of the watch, at the energy level, the meaning had already elicited the results. And then we witnessed and observed the results in the physical form, which was Tom uttering the words, which were the inscription on the watch. But it all happened in the energy form. That's why she could be completely invisible. Because for him, at the representation level, she was not being represented. She wasn't there. Because remember, seeing doesn't happen in the physical. It happens at the energy level. So at the energy level, he's seeing the watch. So even though we see all kinds of stuff, you could put a building in front of him, and if he was told it was invisible, he could still see the watch. Because he's seeing it at the energy level, not at the physical level. It's like Ingo Swann, who was looking at Jupiter from Earth in his mind. There was probably all kinds of planets in the way. There was probably millions of miles of space in between. But he was still observing Jupiter. He was inside a building. I think he was way underground too, several floors underground. He was underground in a building millions of miles away from Jupiter, and he was seeing Jupiter. That's reality. That's what reality can be. That's what reality really is. Because you see, that was all reconciled. That all occurred at the energy level. At the energy level, there is no distance. There is no space. There is no building. There is no dirt. There's no being underground. At the energy level, if the meaning is I can see Jupiter, then at the energy level, he sees Jupiter. He's sitting there looking right at it, checking it out. And then it's represented in the physical level. He utters the words out of his mouth. Jupiter's got a ring around it. But to everybody else on the planet, they're looking at him saying, hey, you're 4 stories underground. Jupiter's millions of miles away. Even our telescopes can't see the rings. We think it's impossible for you to see it, but that's not true. It doesn't matter. His reality is he could see it. Tom's reality was he could see the pocket watch. Because it's all done in energy and represented in the physical form. Okay.
To continue, go to How to Use Your God Power, chapter number 12, segment number 11. Let your quest for knowing continue.